Hello, all. Welcome to Aishan Algorithms. I'm so excited to have you all here today. So, in this today's session, let's talk about statistics. Let me share my screen for you all. Okay. So basically, what is statistics? So statistics is nothing but it's like taking a bunch of numbers and figuring out what they mean. So basically, statistics helps us to organize the numbers. It helps us to find the patterns, and based on that, we make smart decisions. So, for example, if you take a messy pile of information, statistics helps us to turn it into something clear and useful. So, for example, in retail stores, this is how statistics is used. So stores use the statistics to figure out what products are selling well. So for example, if blue jeans are selling a lot, the store will stock up on more blue jeans because they know people want to buy them more. Yeah, so statistics is super useful for understanding things in a very simple way. Okay. So statistics is not only used in retail, it is also used in business, healthcare, government, sports, and so many other places. Okay, now let's move on to know about the different types of statistics. So there are two different types of statistics. The one is descriptive statistics, the other one is inferential statistics. So today in this video, we will focus only on descriptive statistics, and I will make a detailed video on inferential statistics in the upcoming days. Okay, so the descriptive statistics is nothing but basically it summarizes the data to make it easy to understand. So, for example, the data is so huge, you will be having a millions of data, so it will be very hard to understand what is happening. So, we need to summarize it so that you can easily understand. So, descriptive statistics is basically it helps us to give you a big picture of the data. So basically, descriptive statistics is nothing but it talks about the mean, median, mode, range, variance, and also the standard deviation. For example, as we all know that mean is nothing but it's like it gives it is the central value of the data because it is extremely helpful when all the data points are equally important. For example, in real time business in real time, especially in businesses, companies usually calculate the average sales revenue per month to plan for the future growth. For example, if the coffee shop wants to know if the sales are going well, they use the average monthly revenue as well. So so apart from that, in education we can say that teacher calculate the average test score to understand the overall class performance. So these are the places where mean is used. So let's move on to median. Okay. So median is nothing but it helps us to find the middle value. For example, consider the income analysis. Median is mainly used there because it represents the typical earnings in a region. So that's basically a median score. There can be few billionaires because the few billionaires can make the mean income misleading. So we usually consider the median income. Okay. So there are two different ways to find out the median. So if you have odd values, we can easily find out the median value. So if you have a even number of values, we take the two middle values, that is the two median values, we add it and we divide it by two to find out the median. So in this case, we have a four numbers. So we take 60 and 70 and you divide it by two. So you get 65 as a median value. Okay, now let's move on to the mode. Mode is nothing but it is the most frequently occurring value in the data set. So for example, you can consider the retail industry because in retail, mode is majorly used to find out which is the popular product or which is the maximum size sold. For example, if mode of the size, shoe size is 6, the store will stock more of that size because that is the most frequently bought size. Okay, so that is basically a mode, and the mode can be in a data set, there can be no mode, and there can be one mode, and there can be many modes, and they can also be a multi modes, like you can be having more than two modes. Okay, so now let's talk about standard deviation. So standard deviation is nothing but it talks about how spread out a set of data or from the average, that is the mean. So this area is considered as a mean, and we usually find out how the data is spread out across the mean. So for example, if the standard deviation is very low, that means the data points are so close to the mean. If the standard deviation is too high, that means the data points are widely clustered out. So for example, this is the standard bell curve. So here the pink area, the 34 percentage and the 34 percentage, which adds up to 68%, they fall within one standard deviation. This area is considered as one standard deviation. So which means 68 percentage of the values fall in the first standard deviation. And when you add this red area, that is the 13.5 percentage, the another 13.5 percentage, together with the pink area, this adds up to the sum of 95 percentage. So the 95 percentage falls within the two standard deviation. Okay, so the even higher percentage, the combined pink area, the red area, and the blue area, they fall within the three standard deviation. The anything that is apart from the three standard deviation, that would be considered as an outlier. Okay, now let's discuss about the one standard deviation. So basically, I have taken the scores, actually, basically the math score, the reading score, the writing score of 30,641 people. Okay, so basically, if you want to find out the find out the one standard deviation, that is, if you are very curious to find out where the 68 percentage of the students have scored, we can simply subtract the standard deviation from the mean, and you can also add the standard deviation to the mean. So for example, if you do that, see here I have got 66 as a mean value and the standard deviation as 15.2. So if you subtract it both, and you will be getting 51.5. So if you had the standard deviation and the mean, you will be getting 81.96. So which is one standard deviation, that is the 68 percentage, that is the 34, this 34, these area. Okay, so 68 percentage of the students have scored between 51.5 and 81.96. So this is where standard deviation is extremely helpful. It helps us to find out where the people are lying in. So for example, if you want to know about the two standard deviation, you simply multiply the standard deviation with the 2, and you subtract it from the mean, and you add it with the mean. So if you want to find out the two standard deviation, that is the 95 percentage of the students have scored between 36.3 to 96.6. Okay. And variance is very similar to standard deviation. So variance is also helps us to find out how the data points are from the mean. So for example, if there is a high variance, the data points are spread out widely, and if there is a low variance, that means they're so close to the mean. So in real time, we can say that in finance, the investors use variance to measure the risk of the stocks. So for example, if the stock has high variance, which means the price will fluctuate a lot, so it is generally a riskier stock. Okay, so this is where the variance is used. So range will help you to find out the minimum and the maximum value. For example, in a class, in a class, if you want to know about the performance, the teacher can see the lowest scoring student and the highest scoring student. So this will help you to find out the range of the class. Yeah. So this is all about the descriptive statistics. It is essentially very important thing, because this will help you to understand the data. This is the basic step in data analytics and the data science, because we need to understand the data. We need to understand what is happening. So this will help you to do the further analysis. Yeah. So yeah, that's all. Thank you so much for your patience. Thank you.